Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is edging towards choosing Dean Henderson as #1 goalkeeper next season. It's the right decision, because I said Dean Henderson is reliable enough now to be our #1 goalkeeper. We'll give him the #1 role in February. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. His distribution was good, kept a lot of clean sheets, made good saves, and he made some good aerial claims. There was 2 games he weren't so good in though last season. That was the 3-1 win against Burnley, because he looked shaky off his line. And the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool, he made some errors. Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. There's actually been rumours of Manchester United possibly selling Dean Henderson. I certainly prefer Dean Henderson over David De Gea. Some United fans prefer De Gea. I want Manchester United to sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, but not so long ago, De Gea came out and said that he's convinced he'll stay at Manchester United and be Solskjaer's #1 next season. I reckon De Gea has had his years at Manchester United. He's endured like 10 years at the club, so he's been a long servant. I reckon De Gea's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. De Gea has like 2 years left on his current contract. He's on £375,000 a week, but a few years ago, without doubt, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Now, last season, it actually said De Gea made his transfer decision. It said he was preparing to leave Man United and Man United would pay off his huge contract. Not so long ago, there was talks of a David De Gea and Jan Oblak swap deal to solve our #1 crisis. If we sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get around £50 million for him. To De Gea's credit though, after the Everton collapse in February, he produced his best performances and he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the #1 role. De Gea put a very good performance out in the semi-final against Roma, but obviously cost us the Europa League final because De Gea missed his penalty and he had 11 chances to save a penalty and he didn't. Now, Jadon Sancho's camp expect a move to Manchester United to happen. That's coming from the Manchester Evening News. Manchester United are very confident of completing a Jadon Sancho transfer after further talks have been held. Fabrizio Romano has given us an update on Jadon Sancho. He says all parties involved in Man United's pursuit of Sancho are confident a deal will be agreed. Romano said the personal terms and the agent fees for Sancho have been agreed since last week. Romano said last weekend that we made contact with Jadon Sancho's camp. Now, Borussia Dortmund believe Ed Woodward is willing to pay Sancho's 80 million asking price. Borussia Dortmund said on Monday they believe Sancho to Man United could be done by the end of this week. He said Man United are around 11 million short for Sancho. So yeah, the personal terms have been agreed. And we've offered Jadon Sancho a 5-year contract worth £350,000 a week. We had an opening offer of £67 million rejected for Sancho. Jadon Sancho already has a gentleman's agreement with Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester United. Dortmund said not so long ago that Sancho will remain with them if we have not matched their valuation for Sancho by the end of July. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years. So it has been a long-running transfer saga. There's always been summer in Sancho to Manchester United because it's been stemming from reliable journalists. Fabrizio Romano's reliable, and he's spoken a hell of a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Christian Falk from Bild. Borussia Dortmund have identified their replacement. They're looking at Daniel Malin from PSV. Dortmund have lowered their asking price from last summer. Because last summer, Dortmund's valuation was £108 million and we was reluctant to meet that valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United because Sancho will fit in our team perfectly. He's predominantly a right winger and we need a right winger. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. He will assure his goals, he's good at creating chances, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. They do touch base with each other a lot. So they are the reasons. It said we failed to sign Sancho, we'll look to make a move for Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich as an alternative. Sancho has been at Dortmund for 4 years. Analysing the vast majority of his career, he's been consistent. He's enjoyed a couple of bad periods though. He's got a contract with Dortmund till 2023 and Dortmund paid just £7 million to him from Man City back in 2017. So yeah, Sancho is incoming. Solskjaer said he wants 4 more signings when Jadon Sancho to Man United is official. Tom Heaton, obviously, we've got him. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Tom Heaton completed his medical with Manchester United and he'll sign a contract with Man United until 2023. There's also an option of a further year. Tom Heaton is our first signing of this summer transfer window. We're basically seeing him as a replacement for Sergio Romero because we recently released Sergio Romero. Now, Kieran Trippier, Manchester United could sign him in this summer transfer window. We are reluctant, though, to pay any more than £20 million. Sky Sports said that Atletico Madrid want 43 million if they are to sell Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier's release clause is around £35 million. We've actually made a second bid for Kieran Trippier in the region of 21.5 million. We had an opening offer of £10 million rejected for Trippier. Man United's low bid for Trippier angered Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone said not so long ago he's got no intentions of letting Kieran Trippier leave. He told his England teammates not so long ago that he wants to join Manchester United. And he's recently been house hunting in Manchester, so reflecting on that, that's fueled speculation. We was in for Trippier in the January transfer window, then we cooled our interest because Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. The reason we want Kieran Trippier is because Solskjaer has been unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment. So we need someone to come in to provide competition for him. Kieran Trippier is highly experienced. He's 30 years of age. I think he's got 2 years left on his current contract at Atletico Madrid. And Atletico paid £20 million for him from Tottenham back in 2019. So he's experienced in the Premier League. Because he's played in the Premier League before. Varane, I think he'll join either Man United or PSG. Reports from Spain actually said recently that Raphael Varane doesn't want to come to Man United. He wants to join PSG, so he wants to make a return to France. Will Raphael Varane leave Real Madrid in this summer transfer window, with obviously Sergio Ramos leaving Real Madrid? The Manchester Evening News said yesterday that Manchester United made an opening bid of £50 million for Raphael Varane, but Real Madrid rejected this £50 million offer. Real Madrid are demanding £80 million. He said not so long ago that Real Madrid lowered their asking price for Varane. He said they will accept around £52 million. The other week it said Man United offered Varane a salary that Real Madrid cannot match. It's €12 million, which equates to just over £10 million in pounds sterling. Varane has been refusing a contract at Real Madrid. Romano said that not so long ago. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. His current contract expires next year. I think he'll leave Real Madrid Before the Euros, Varane spoke out on his future. Man United have held talks with Raphael Varane's representatives. Towards the end of last season, Real Madrid rejected a £40 million bid. But Varane would be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because him and Harry Maguire would complement each other very well in our back line. He's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a great pedigree as a player. Varane has won like 18 major honours at Real Madrid, so they are the reasons. I'd certainly prefer Varane over Ramos because Varane is much younger than Sergio Ramos. Varane has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them 10 years. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. We went in for him 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. And like I said on my recent video, a Paul Pogba and Raphael Varane swap deal is possible. But Solskjaer's already made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I'm convinced we can challenge for the title next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. It is very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players he wants to recommend in. Solskjaer has already decided on his transfer targets. We want to get a striker, we want to get a right winger, we want to get a defensive midfielder, we want to get a centre-half, and we also want to get a right back. Before the window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. And our board have said they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings, despite the Europa League final loss. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. I'm actually expecting Solskjaer to get sacked next season, because I'm kind of sure he's not the long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. I'd say Solskjaer's got to win a trophy next season if he is to remain Manchester United manager. Because Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy, and we haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. So yeah, next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season at Man United, because he's endured 2 full seasons at the moment, and he's been in charge of the club for 30 months, which is over 2 years. The reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding him being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked by now. There is United fans that are Ole in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club. I think he deserves next season, but there's also been United fans demanding Ole out, especially reflecting on that loss against Villarreal in the Europa League final. So yeah, Ole has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I think it's a mistake giving him this new 3-year contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. I do have my concerns about Ole, like I've gone through with you before. My two biggest concerns about Solskjaer is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision-making concerns, because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive. Maybe there's some games he showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to show tactical flexibility persistently. Before us, Solskjaer was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only enjoyed a short tenure with Cardiff. The reason he got sacked by Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. I think he's handled things pretty well, to be honest with you. I've got to credit Solskjaer because I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done. You've got to turn around and say, yeah, he has done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. In Solskjaer's second full season, which was last season, he got us to the Europa League final. He deserves credit for that. I know we didn't win it, but he still got us to the final. It was his first major final as Man United manager. Got us a second place finish last season. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, which is a good record. Got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season and the EFL Cup semi-final. He did well in his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a third place finish. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. I like the way he has promoted the youth. And when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. So they are a lot of the positives. By the way, our debt has increased to what, 443.5 million is it? They are the latest financial results. But like I say, I'm expecting Solskjaer to get the backing he deserves. You know, reflect on what the board recently said, and on the 4th of June, Joe Glazer attended a fans forum. It was his first attendance in like 15-16 years, and he's promised Manchester United fans that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. So he's promised to give him financial backing. Obviously, a lot of United fans were protesting against the Glazers towards the end of last season. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.